on, everybody? This is Dario Hunt from Living Life Fearless. Welcome back to another one of our podcasts, The Fearless Show. With me, as always, my co-host, Mr. Reese Walker. Say what up to everybody.
What's up, everybody? Artist D. Walker here. Dario, about to chop it up.
We got some special guests, reoccurring, Junior. This time we have both of them joining us. So this should
Hey, I'm Josh, everyone. Hello.
I'm Daniel.
Daniel's the new one.
Daniel is the new one. So, Daniel, if you want to introduce yourself a bit, since, you weren't here last time to the audience and everything.
Well, I'm the other half of Junior. I don't know what else to say. I'm the opposite. I'm like the yin to Josh's yang.
Okay.
We're very opposites in a lot of ways, but also it's like this fusion. So,
but it works. Definitely works.
Yeah.
You can hear the music.
It does work.
He was kind of describing it like that. Maybe actually give us your perspective on combining with him to create Junior, because he gave his side of the story, meeting up with you. Maybe you could tell your side.
Yeah. I always. Well, when we met, I was starting to record my own stuff, almost finishing it, to the point where I could do a whole, record a whole album and feel pretty good about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he liked the idea of joining with someone that could do that, and to kind of grow along in his own producing skills, because he had that going as well. And I was super excited. And I played kind of a little bit of everything, and that's what Josh did, a little bit of everything.
And as you can see from my room.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
But yeah.
Piano, bass,
Saxophone.
I would say a little bit of everything, but a great deal of nothing at the same time. Because you wouldn't want me to be like a session player, but I can make you some piece of art out of whatever you give me. That's how I always feel. I feel comfortable in that way. But so yeah, I think I would guess that he talked about me being able to do a lot of that stuff, and we both kind of had no egos, but I really felt like Josh had a strength with his lyrics that I was hoping to learn a lot about and partner with. He's just a really good lyricist, and he's a lot smarter than me.
That's not true.
And
there's just so many different kinds of intelligence, you know what I mean?
That's true. But I liked his intelligence was different than mine. And I feel like even that was a great fusion.
Mm.
And then it was a lot of his business savvy, which I just sorely lacked, because I had a band too, and I had played music pretty much as long as Josh had, but just probably toured 1/100th of what he toured,
Yeah.
I played little gigs around Detroit, and had a decent following or anywhere else. And just didn't know how to book a show, didn't know how to negotiate a contract, didn't have a label, didn't have a booking agent, didn't have a manager. So really connecting with him and learning that side of it, how to promote yourself without being an ass, how to learn how to talk about yourself and be, sell yourself without it being a weird thing, just it being a weird thing. So I think he brought a lot of that element that was pretty significant to why we had success, beyond the fact that I think we were making better music together, than maybe we were apart, So,
Yeah, and you're in Detroit, right? While he's in LA, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not downtown Detroit. I'm actually outside Detroit.
Okay.
Detroit. But yeah, so we're far apart. We're still managing to figure it out,
Yeah, so I mean, we talked about a lot about kind of stuff you guys were working on last time, and it was the Swish EP that was coming out. We just played, I think Roundabout Rock was the one that just dropped, and now the entire thing is out, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think the general response has been to the project so far?
I mean, I think it's quirky. It's just one of those things where, like, if you're into basketball, you think it's kind of fun, and the merch and the vinyl looking like a basketball, all that stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Thing, you know, it's kind of like we realize that this is like something that's not for everybody, but I think the people that love basketball and there's a lot of crossover between basketball fans and music fans, but I think they see it as like a really like a cool kind of like a side project, something you would do just to like that you've kind of always had in the back of your mind, you know.
Yeah.
But that we actually pulled it off. So it's been good, you know. I just had the song "Vertical." You know, the video came out, and the CMO of the Bucks retweeted it.
Oh, nice.
I love their whole team, and he's a really creative dude, and like he's part of like changing their jersey designs, which I thought were amazing. And anyway, he's gotten us into games before, but like he like sees something like that and is like, oh yeah, this is like what I could see them doing, because he knows that we love basketball and we're always trying to win the Bucks games when we're in town.
Yeah.
I mean, I think also it's like for me, so I want to focus in the next few years on just like trying to use music to bring different kinds of people together, because I think that like in the current version of our country, everyone's like got their own very specific goal of like everything that they pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're doing like, you know, commingling of like basketball and music don't have to be separate. So it's really fun just to be able to like make something for basketball fans who like music, or like our music, or our fans who like basketball, whatever way you want it. Like, it's just cool. It's like, to me, there's different people talking about it. Like the Detroit Free Press interviewed me and was asking about like, you know, if it was just like a marketing ploy to like be able to sell like basketball champion brand basketball merch, and I was like, no, man, just, like, but at least it was different people talking about stuff, so that was cool to me.
Yeah, that's interesting take though. I like how you guys packaged the bundles and everything though. That was a really nice, smooth rollout.
Thanks.
I mean, I thought it was like a genius idea, especially around, you know, with the whole COVID thing and then basketball going away, all sports going away, and then now it's back in the bubble and everything. So everybody's kind of focused on that again and looking for those outlets. I thought it was like a perfect like opportunity to kind of cross over with the music and everything like that. And I told him before, like, I love Roundabout Rock. Like we even talked about that being the coolest thing ever to hear it on like NBA on TNT sometime or something like that. Like,
yeah, we should get like a hashtag for Shaq to.
Yeah, we got to get this. We got to at Shaq. You got to get your fans to at Shaq or something, because I mean, like you said, we had Black Eyed Peas. If Black Eyed Peas can get a song as NBA Finals, I'm pretty sure you guys could get one of those songs as for the NBA Finals at some point. You know.
Sure.
I was talking to a friend in the film business, and I realized that having Vertical in Space Jam 2 would actually be
that would be amazing.
Oh yeah,
that would be the coolest thing.
That would definitely be it.
Yeah.
All right.
And I love that. That's like probably my favorite song too on the EP. Not to say
Me too. I love that.
Just because that was like the most. It's your original, so yeah. I just enjoy that a lot.
All right, we're gonna have to get our community on it. We're gonna have like at King James or something, you know.
Yeah, for real.
You can still get
I know Space. They're looking for music for sure, because like I know people who are trying to write stuff for it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, hey, by the way, you should tell them that this song already exists.
Right.
It's ready to go.
Yeah, it's ready.
So like we said, basketball's back, and you know, we made some predictions. This was just the start of the bubble. I don't think playoffs have even started yet, you know. Josh over there predicted, was it Giannis or the Clippers? I can't remember which one you said was going to win.
I said they would be in the finals, and I said that the Bucks would win. I was so right.
Both of your teams are out.
I just want to throw it out there that me and Darius both predicted that LeBron James will once again reach the NBA Finals, and win it. He hasn't won it yet, but he has
punched
his ticket to the NBA Finals.
So, but yeah,
I mean, he played his best game in their last game too. So I cannot fucking believe he's been playing for 17 years. He's so good still. It's
very obviously the best player on the court. And that's what's crazy about it is how old.
It really doesn't make sense that he's still playing at this level that he is with all the minutes and everything else that's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was so confident that Kawhi, was gonna take that mantle, but I gotta say, just always next year.
No, I'm just kidding.
They don't have a big window there, so the Clippers, man.
But Paul George really did, he really disappeared. I mean,
he froze. Choked.
What? Was he injured?
No.
Nah, he always plays like that.
Yeah, that's my thing is I'm not surprised because he's always come up short and played small in big moments. So it's not like, this was unheard of. It's more like Kawhi going 1 for 11 the entire second half was more of a surprise, I think, than anybody.
Yeah, basically when Kawhi gave up with 3 minutes left in the third quarter, it kind of just looked like I was like, wait, this is game 7, right? You guys got plenty of time. Where's the energy, guys?
I just assumed that they had so many other good scorers on the team,
So did everybody
Williams is so good, and I don't know. Montrez can
come on, man. After he came back from Atlanta and Magic City, he just was never the same.
That's
never the same.
Yeah.
So do we have more predictions? We have Game 6, 3-2, Miami, Boston. How do you think this series is gonna play out?
I personally picked Boston Celtics and LA reigniting the rivalry. So I'm gonna just rock with that still, even though they're down 1.
They were down 3-1, right? It was 3-1.
It was 3-1. Now it's 3-2.
Back in this year's playoffs, which would make it 4 of them, 3 of them or something.
It'd be 3.
Yeah, that'd be
nuts. The Heat kind of do have a 2004 Piston type.
Yeah.
Granted, I think Jimmy Butler's better than anyone on the Piston. Jimmy Butler's better than Chauncey was then. Although
he's not a better shooter.
Rasheed was better than Adebayo. But still, it's just a team of dudes who are all pretty good and trying really hard. It seems like they like each other. It seems like they're a team, I don't know. I'd be scared to play them.
I'm just
I mean,
that's fair.
I did originally pick, Boston, but I'm not super confident right now in that pick. I don't know if they can keep that up for 3 games straight now. I don't know if they can carry that over, but
I think they got the fire lit under their butt a little bit. I think they kind of were walking into this thinking they had more talent and that it shouldn't be as hard as it is. And they're getting outbeat just every time they feel like they get a good moment.
Because they feel Miami has too many X factors. You have Tyler Hero coming out of nowhere and scoring 37 points.
Yeah, that's
out of the blue.
Yeah. But they lost that game, right? Wasn't that the game they lost?
No, Miami won that game.
Oh, they won that game. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's why.
That was weird because Jimmy Butler wasn't scoring. That was crazy.
He hasn't been scoring much this whole series. That's what's insane.
Yeah.
I heard Bill Simmons predict now that Tyler Hero is going to be an All NBA player, and I'm a little hesitant to go that far.
Pump the brakes. You know how every has their one. I mean, people predicted Paul George would be one of the best players on the planet after he went to Miami and took him to Game 6. So it's you never know if it's just a one-off or how they're going to progress. I like to let players get a couple years in the league before we start saying they're the next great thing.
Yeah. He just got his name out there. Let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Because you gotta wait. Because now everybody knows what he can do. So the next year, people are gonna focus on him more than any other time before. People aren't he's barely on scouting report. He's on there, but he's not the main focus. So now
And that's from a kid who hasn't played in the big stadiums yet.
That's
that was a big moment without an audience.
The bubble.
So I'll let him have that big, I don't think he's going to do that with everybody yelling at him.
There is a lot less pressure when you're not on the road, game 6, game 7, like must win.
Yeah.
Like it's a whole different feeling for sure. So I don't know. But I'm not mad at it. I kind of like the bubble. You getting some weird things happening that I don't think we would have ever gotten before.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been fun. I like that the games are so fast. Like there's no waiting 4 days between.
When I first came back for the playoffs, it was like 5 games a day or something like that. It was insane.
It was kind of exhausting.
I thought it was so fun. Yeah.
Kind of like an NBA buff. What's the NBA like at? It's so terrible, so I stopped buying it. But you can watch like every game for every team. Get that?
Oh yeah, I still have that League Pass.
Yeah, League Pass. That's what it is.
Yeah, it felt like a League Pass situation.
They're just flooding you with everything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So
I was surprised. I mean, like I did not. I thought Utah was going to be as good as they were, but I did not think Denver was going to play as good as they played. Like that was wild, and I did not think Miami was capable of getting to the final. So
yeah,
I don't know, a lot of surprises.
I didn't see Miami coming. Denver, I knew they were a good team, but I didn't think. First of all, I didn't think Jamal Murray was going to score 50 points, 40 points, 40 points, 39 points in like one series, and then I didn't expect the Clippers to kind of shit the bed like they did. So.
And Porter Jr. is playing better than I thought he would played better in the playoffs than I thought he would. Like he didn't seem scared.
No, he's definitely. I mean, there's a lot of. If anything, a lot of the younger stars got a chance to kind of shine for sure. More than I think they would have in a regular situation.
Yeah, they're going to be killer in the next 2-3 years, man. They don't have to.
Scary. They have Bol still, who didn't even play in the playoffs.
Yeah, but
like 2 minutes at the end.
When they first came in, though.
I seen him. Yeah, he got some PT.
Yeah.
Are we counting 2 minutes?
Yeah, he was awesome.
2 minutes. It was nice.
Philadelphia was like exactly what I thought they'd be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I think the process is over. Like,
well, they screwed up. They had so many like high picks, and they wasted a lot of them. If you look back, first of all, they traded up to pick Fultz, and then they bailed on it before he even played. Like they took Okafor and Embiid like within 3 years of each other. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and then you don't re-sign Jimmy.
Right.
Oh yeah, that was the big one. And now look, yeah.
You don't re-sign Jimmy, then you max out Tobias Harris, and then you basically pay like $60 million for a very old Al Horford.
This was definitely like a Stan Van Gundy screwed everyone, because like Tobias Harris is like a Stan Van Gundy guy, and he totally and then Reggie Jackson goes out to the Clippers and like totally fucks up in one game. Like,
we can't have too much
Marcus Morris.
That is my high school. That's who he came up playing with. So I can't have too much.
They should have played Reggie more instead of Paul George. I guarantee you they would have beat the Nuggets.
I have a theory that in every game I've ever watched Reggie Jackson play, he always looks more exhausted than everyone else. And I don't know whether it's because he's like working harder or what, but like he's always sweating more.
It's my dog, man. He's working hard. He's working hard out there for the Pistons.
It's the little things you don't see.
It's the little thing.
Yeah, it doesn't show up on the stat sheet,
The first game he played for the Pistons, man, he literally was so exhausted that he was like hunched over, and they were like trying to help him breathe. Do you remember this, Josh?
Look, I'll tell you a story about Reggie. I remember in high school, this is when he was a sophomore before his growth spurt. I was in track, right? And Reggie was a triple jumper and a long jumper. And we were outside, and it was raining and stuff. And, like, he was so like lazy and trash. He like decided once he got in the finals, if he got up a certain level, like he didn't really need to jump anymore. So it was like, yeah, no, I'm cool. And like I beat him in that like event, but then he became a junior and he grew like 3 or 4 inches over the summer, and then it was a wrap. And then he just like his first dunk was between the legs, and now he's in the NBA. But I remember one time when Reggie was crashing everything, and he just got bigger, and then he was lazy though. He didn't take it serious because he had natural athletic ability for a while.
I think that,
and he was just like all of a sudden better. It was crazy.
yeah. No, I think that's the knock on it. If you watch him, he looks like he's not trying hard. He looks like he's kind of not pushing himself. And he's kind of got a smooth way that he plays. So maybe that's just how he is. Not every guy has to like look like
He's just really good. Like he's just really good. So
I mean, he's always had like a kind of a nonchalant type of essence to his game. But, you know, high school and college, he'll be nonchalant and score 30, you know. And it's like, damn, like, he didn't look like you going that hard. But, yeah.
I remember Summer League because I'm like a nerd and I watch all the Summer League games. So this was like 5 years ago maybe. You know, you buy it for like $10 and then you can watch all the games. He just killed the Pistons when he was on OKC. And I think he scored like 40 in a Summer League game. I was like, this guy is amazing. And then, you know, 3 years later, he was on our team. But
I was kind of nervous when he joined the Clippers, to be honest. I was like, oh, he could be a problem in the finals.
Yeah.
Against LeBron and them. I was like, dang, Reggie to give some of them some time off and him just with all the energy, like just to get his hard minutes, like 5 minutes in the game or something. I could see that being a problem.
I just think so many of these teams were constructed last second with thrown, and then they just didn't play that much together, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I think that's the wild card for all these teams. They just didn't have they weren't gelling at all. If you
load management,
it's so much, right? And then they had to be off for months and then came back and they just didn't play enough together, in my opinion.
I think that's why LeBron still manages to get there over everybody else, because even when he gets like brand new players, a brand new team, everybody has to buy in to the culture basically that's there. Like there's no days off basically. Like there's no load management. Like it's either you get in line or you're not gonna be there for too much longer, you know? And I feel like the Clippers, everybody was just kind of doing their own thing.
Lakers were practicing the whole time too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're all in LA.
Like
they had a fun vibe.
But they were like actually practicing at this like guy's this guy's got like a gym in Beverly Hills or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like actually holding like regular practices when they weren't supposed to. I don't know. LeBron's like Bill Belichick, man. You don't. He's got to get that edge.
Everybody's got a role to play. Like you got to fit in the pieces. You know, like Bill Belichick. You got to run your routes. You know, you don't like you know.
They call him Le GM.
I actually heard that this is gonna be a little conspiracy theory. So you can cut this if you want. But I heard there's a girl that I'm friends with in LA who's an artist, like visual painter.
All right, starting already. Very interesting.
She went to high school with LeBron. And she said that he had a girlfriend and that senior year, that girl left and no one has heard from her since. No one's talked to her. She's not on any social media. And so there was a rumor at the school that she got pregnant and then something bad happened.
Wow.
Too dark.
Wow.
I didn't know where that was going, but
that can make an interesting podcast just in and of itself. Like a serial, like trying to see if there's.
How deep does this rabbit hole go? Yeah, no.
Ron's like the family man. You know what I mean? That's the thing. That would be a shocker because he's like clean, man. Of like.
His greatest accomplishment is going 17 years even longer, since he was 16 years old, going till now with no major scandals, no any blemish, like really on his if your biggest blemish is the decision, Like,
getting a Hummer in high school.
insane.
Yeah.
His biggest scandal was getting a Hummer in high school.
No, the decision that was his biggest. That's what
A Hummer. That was the biggest scandal in his basketball career.
I think it's really, really cool how willingly and like vocally he's about social justice issues, because historically, like, that's been like, look at Colin Kaepernick, like I think it's awesome that he's doing that, because like,
another one of the
he is
homies went to University of Nevada with me.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
I mean, I feel bad for him, because he should have been like Matt Stafford went out for the Lions last year and it was like, Kaepernick was better than everyone we had.
I mean, they
should have been in the league.
Denver just signed Blaine Gabbert. Is that him, or who am I thinking of?
Oh God,
the guy from the Jacksonville Jags the year that they.
Yeah.
Man.
Gabbert.
Gabbert, yeah.
Okay, well, they just signed him when their quarterback got hurt. So it's like, what are we really doing here? Like, we're not signing the best available players anymore. Like, are you kidding? Oh, no, not Gabbert. It was Blake Bortles. They signed Blake Bortles.
Brian Bortles.
And it's like, what are we really doing here? Like, let's not act like, oh, he can't play, but you're signing Blake Bortles. That's your replacement. What are we talking about, This guy only went to the Super Bowl.
I mean, I hope that Nike, he's still got a Nike endorsement.
Oh yeah,
like, he's still able to make money. Because that would be.
He's not hurting. He did sign a $90 million contract before the league blackballed him. So it's not like it's not like he, is bankrupt or anything. It's just a joke for them to act like he's not in the league because he can't play in the league anymore.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. It's both like, I don't want to work for the place that's still fucked up for the reasons that, like, I kind of got like outcast in the first place.
I mean, what's crazy is that now, they have it all on the field. They have it on the helmets, they have it on the field, they have a scoreboard, they have commercials for it, they have and it's like, while the guy who basically started the whole movement is not even in the league anymore, like, and not because he can't play, like,
yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Didn't the commissioner had like a sit down with the uncomfortable conversations with the black man?
Yeah.
You seen that dude?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Emmanuel Ocho.
Okay. But he talked about it, and he's like, yeah, just like basically whoever the commissioner's name is, I can't think of him.
Goodell.
I'm just like, yeah, we made a big mistake. We were wrong about all that. And it's just like, you say that now, but like, you messed up so many things. And now all these fans and people are like brainwashed. They're not going to come out of it like you came out of it,
Mm-hmm.
It's unreal.
I think a lot of the owners in the NFL are like, they seem like actually bad dudes, like, it's like that Sterling owner of the Clippers. Like, he was a terrible dude, and then they were like, "You got to get out of the league," And like, it seems like there's multiple NFL owners who are that bad.
I mean, what's his name? Dan Gilbert of the Redskins, or the Washington.
Dan Snyder. Dan
Snyder. Dan Gilbert's Cleveland, my bad, but he's a owner too. But Dan Snyder, yeah, like, come on, man.
Also, like, Robert Kraft got arrested for prostitution before the Super Bowl.
Well, I will say he is old, and he got a happy ending. I can't be too mad at him for that. Like, you're an old guy, like, all right, like, whatever, man. I'm
just saying, if you're an old guy like that and you get caught doing something, then that means that, I don't know, I just feel like he's like, Al Davis seemed creepy. His son seems creepy. The Raiders owner. Jerry Jones seems like a creep.
Got the like the bowl cut like right here, then it goes like straight down both sides. Like, it's amazing.
Jerry Jones seems like a creep too.
Yeah, they're just old white dudes, man.
Or like notorious Nazis. They still own the Lions.
Yeah,
you have an old generation owning like a team of young, basically minority players, because like 70% of the league is minority. Like, come on, like, it's always gonna look weird. And it's just like people are actually just speaking up more about it now than ever, which is it's a good thing. Like, make people uncomfortable. Like, they have no choice but to acknowledge it now. It only took them 3 years, plus a whole worldwide movement for them to actually be like, yeah, we were wrong.
Now that I see all this noise on the outside of my house, people protesting, using the exact same words he used.
Yeah,
I guess
please don't come for the NFL. Like, basically, don't come for the NFL. Like, hey, don't walk away from the NFL either. Like, can't lose our players. Like, so it's like, they got to do what they got to do. It's just like the NCAA when, like, for basketball, they changed all the rules where players can, like, enter with the agent now, and you get paid like a certain amount and all this, just because players were just starting to skip the NCAA altogether. So now they have to, like, actually change their system, like, and they act like they do it out of altruism when in reality it's just you're losing literally all of your money if you don't do this.
Who was the guy that had to sit out the season on Memphis this year?
James Wiseman.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And that was like
Timmy Hardaway helped his family, 6 years ago when he wasn't even a coach or an agent or a scout or anything. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, there's talk that the Pistons are gonna pick him. So I feel like, yeah, I feel bad for him, but I feel like if he would have played this season, he probably would be in the top 3, right?
I think he's still top 3. Should be.
But anything can happen. This is gonna be a weird draft, man. I think
is LaMelo in this draft?
Yeah, Melo's in there.
Think he's going first?
He's kind of he's up there. I think the guy from Georgia is a lot of people's first pick.
Anthony Edwards.
I wouldn't be surprised LaMelo because he's a point guard and he's like 6'7", and he's actually got point guard skills, whereas that guy's just a straight scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wiseman, I feel like to get in the NBA and just like not be as dominant because he's not as much bigger than in college. It's such a, like, if you're 7'1" and you can leap like that, you just can jump over people.
Yeah,
but
playing against little kids,
he can't. He's got no post moves. Not in the same way that, like, I even think Precious, the guy, his like teammate, had better post moves. Forget his last name, but. Yeah, I don't know. I'm nervous about Wiseman, man. I wouldn't want to pick.
Yeah.
But I don't like I think that what we're seeing in the NBA playoffs is that, like, big men actually do have a place. Like, Adebayo is, like, really important, and Dwight Howard and Davis are really important. Right.
He's skilled.
So, like, that's why, like, Wiseman is, like, he could eventually be that. Even Phoenix was such a surprise, and DeAndre Ayton's, like, really good. He's like, he seems like he could be really legit.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's a weird draft this year. Who knows what's going to happen? There's, like, no camps. There's no, real workouts. Like, when's the NBA season going to start again? When, there's no Chicago Combine anymore. There's no, like, senior year tournaments and stuff. Like, if I was a kid coming out, it'd be tough. It'd be tough to come out this year and try to enter the draft if you weren't, like, already a super highly recruited prospect,
Yeah.
No summer league. That's crazy.
Right.
I know, that's crazy. Yeah.
Like, how are you going to see these kids?
If the season starts in January, if they'll do, like, a winter league, like, over the holidays or something, it'd be sweet.
I mean, yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
But I still got LeBron winning it this year, going for 4 and 6. 10 is crazy. 4 and 6 is crazy.
Yeah. 4 and 6 is crazy.
He's got to beat Miami if Miami is in, right? I mean, Boston, it would just, to be 3 and 7, man, it's just not going to, he's going to hear that forever.
Yeah. I don't think.
Yeah. Oh, he's aware.
He's very aware.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, God.
But look at it this way. I know we're thinking, like, KCP and all them ain't that nice, but, like, outside of, like, Jimmy Butler, like, Tyler Hero's not a clutch player. He's a new kid.
Yeah.
And then we got, I guess Dragic. Him and Rondo are the same to me.
Yeah.
I don't think. I basically feel like they can't.
No, playoff Rondo is different. He changes the game completely.
Has had a really good playoff.
I was saying, but I'm giving Dragic, I guess, a little bit more credit.
Don't ever put Dragic and playoff Rondo in the same conversation. Like, playoff Rondo is a very real thing. There's no playoff Dragic.
But look at that. Rondo is in the second team. He's not a starter. Dragic is starting. What I'm saying
that's because he has Bron. So when Bron takes a break, Rondo runs the team.
I'm not saying it as a bad thing. What I'm saying is the Lakers should roll Miami because their best players aren't as good as the Lakers' second best players.
Let's be honest. They should roll Miami, Boston, whoever they play. They should roll them because their size is a problem. Nobody can guard Anthony Davis. Like, period.
They're gonna have the best players in the series.
Yes, they have by far the two best players, and their defense has actually been super impressive. Like
really good. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
KCP has always been a good defender, and Dwight Howard looks kind of awesome right now.
To be honest, I know you love Rondo. It sounds like you really love Rondo. And Rondo's good. He was really good in Boston. But I really thought Rondo and Dwight Howard were just going to be bust signings because they were just, these are LeBron's buddies. They're older. Dwight Howard could have flopped and no one would be surprised.
Yeah. I don't love Rondo. I love playoff Rondo, though. They're like two different players, like night and day almost.
Yeah, maybe you felt confident he was going to step up. But, like, those two players are they're doing so much better than I think a lot of people expected.
Yeah. Dwight, I'm definitely pleasantly surprised that he turned the clock back. He's, like, looking like young Dwight again.
Looking like young Dwight and actually fitting in with his team.
He's not forcing anything. He's just going with whatever flow of the game is. He does exactly what they need. He gets a double-double in 15 minutes. Like, I'm very surprised, and I'm happy to see it. Like,
gets Jokic back trouble.
I was kind of confident because for a player that was like as high as he was to like humble himself and then take like league minimum and then know like this is his last chance. I figured he would kind of take it as seriously as he has, and it's also the LeBron effect. Like you can't like come in half-assed and you can't be bullshitting like I think if he was on Clippers, I don't think you would see this type of Dwight as you see like.
He lost a lot of weight too. He looks like he's just lighter,
Oh, yeah. He's moving. Like he's guarding guards out there. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's good.
And that is.
Yeah. He's gonna get paid again now off of this run.
Yeah. Well, he was about to be a fourth retirement.
I thought Kuzma would be better, honestly. I really did.
Everyone did.
But he's only been a scorer. Like, and if he's not making shots, he doesn't really give you anything else, even for his size. Like, he's a terrible defender. Like, he should be.
And he has a little bit of that like awkwardness as a scorer, but it's not like his own style. So I don't know if he's like ever gonna be a great player.
Yeah. Do you think they would have been better off letting the Pelicans take Kuzma and keeping Josh Hart?
No, because I think
Josh Hart. Maybe Ingram.
Oh, Ingram. Ingram was probably like the only reason that deal happened because he was like, I think he was the best player in that deal, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Lonzo was
the most upside for sure.
Ingram's better than Lonzo.
But also, it's like,
he
needs the ball. So it's like, it's hard to play with Bron if you need the ball to score. Like, if you need the one-on-one dribble, like, unless you're like Kyrie, Bron's not really passing it off too much for dudes to just go one-on-one and score. Like, you'd be able to score in other ways. You're not catching
he had incredible foresight partnering with Anthony Davis. I mean, that's like, it really is a perfect combination.
Everybody's like, I don't see how it's going to work. Well, I mean, it looks like it's working.
Like, what do you mean LeBron's going to be a point guard?
He only led the league in assists.
The best passer of all time? Like,
I always said he's more like Magic Johnson than Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan comparison just – first of all, they're totally different players and body builds and everything, but he just does everything. Like, he could play center like Magic did.
Also, just the knowledge of the game is insane. Like, what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. Just, Magic, but just like 20 times more athletic and can score at any point in time when he wants to.
Yeah. Like blocking somebody at the basket and then sprinting for the fast break layup in year 17 in the fourth quarter. Like, that's crazy. Like, he
might be the most dedicated player ever, right? Like, just in terms of like keeping himself healthy.
I would say yes. Shape. I mean, spends $1 million plus every
I think it's $2 million
recovery and training and all that other stuff. Like, yeah. Most players don't do that for sure. Like, not at that level.
I don't even think Jordan did, right? Like, Jordan was kind of like, he like would party and gamble and stuff.
Yeah, Jordan didn't care. Jordan would like, he didn't even have that much like muscle. Like, he didn't start working out for a couple of years, even when he was in the league, like to put on like muscle weight. He was like maybe like 210, 205, like.
Yeah,
LeBron's 250, like on a light day.
That's good.
So that's But I'm excited to see what happens. So we got to see if these Celtics can actually force a Game 7 or not. But
I really hope they can. I do love the Celtics. Like, I think Tatum and Brown are so fun, and Kemba has been playing. He's so fun.
Yeah, for real.
They don't have, like, I think Tice is just like not enough. They need like if they had kept Horford.
That's why I said
it would have helped.
It would have been really good in this series because Bam is just rolling and dunking everything.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And also, how the hell is Miami so good at picking talent? Like, all of their draft picks are panning out, and then there's like their unsigned free agents are like also playing really well.
Pat Riley's.
I mean, knows basketball. And not only that, like, they have a culture unlike any other place. Like, it's not like players don't come in and run the organization. You come in and you, like, mold to their culture or you're not going to be around long. Like, there's no other way. Like, other players go, bad organizations and they just basically run it to the ground or run it however they want. Whereas you go to Miami, you got to fit. Even Bron had to fit in when he got to Miami, which is crazy. So it's like, no, it's culture for sure.
I think also the Grizzlies surprised me this year. Like, even when Jackson went down,
they have good young talent.
They're good though. It was like they're fun. John Morant is really, really good. I didn't think he was gonna be that good.
I would have liked to see him in the postseason more. Like, that would have been really fun just to see his game because he's a pretty explosive player, like point guard.
It's an understatement.
He's like a taller Peyton Siva.
Let me.
Draft picks that just never play again. But probably, if we play pickup with them, we could probably burn everybody. But yeah.
Well, what's funny is Peyton Siva is also like actually a really good homie of mine, and we've had this conversation about his NBA stint in Detroit and all that.
He should have played. He was actually good when he played.
Well,
we don't play our young guys, so don't come here if you want to.
We don't play our young guys.
He kind of blames Josh Smith for his downfall in his NBA career because he was there when Josh Smith was there and was shooting like 20% and like they just blew that whole team up after that. Like, it was just like, man, why would you pay this guy this much? And
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, he went from max to like vet minimum the very next contract. So it was pretty bad run for him.
We had Charlie Villanueva at the same time too.
Oh my God, that's nuts! That's a wild team. That's like pickup basketball. Oh man, that's like the guys left over at the rec. Like, you just walk in, all the teams are made up. Everybody's still up on the wall. And you're like, yo, y'all got the team yet? Nah. All right.
I remember I usually go to the opening game. And it was, one of the second or third year with Charlie V on the team. And I went to the first game and he already sat out like half the game and was icing his back. And I'm just like, this is our like, it was
Yeah, it was like he signed him and Dumars signed him and Ben Gordon in 1 year as like free agents.
That was a big, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember a fan was holding a sign that said, Charlie V is the key. And it had a key, and the lock said NBA Finals. And I was like,
wow.
hell.
That's amazing.
I mean, it is sad. It's sad, man, what happened to the Pistons organization. Like, you kind of need a good Pistons organization in the NBA. It's like one of those teams, historically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want them to get back, but I don't know. I mean, hey, Denver finally came back around. If the Pistons can do it.
I mean, it only took Denver, I don't know how long, but trust the process, man. Start tanking.
17 years. No, I'm just kidding. It took since like Melo left.
Yeah.
So like what, 15, 14 years?
We talked about this earlier. Like if Detroit would have drafted Carmelo instead of
my God.
Yeah.
If they would have drafted, yeah, we talked about that last time. That's
you guys would have had a longer run than you did for sure. Because you needed a score at those end of those years.
Yeah,
You did. It's the
Good
only.
job for LeBron. His whole career would have been different.
Yeah, that's true too, man. Who knows if we wouldn't have he wouldn't actually. I mean, that one series where he scored like the last
24 straight.
He made the Pistons. He made the bad boy, the new bad boy Pistons look like girls at the end of that shit.
Yeah, being like a Pistons fan, you were like, somebody hack him. Like, what are you doing?
I was so confused. I was like, he's playing 1-on-5 and laying it in every time.
We had kind of given up by then, man. It was bad. Was that the Chris Webber team? Chris Webber on the Pistons?
Yeah.
I don't like that team. Regular season was awesome. But
Hey, if you'd have drafted Melo, you would have had size. You'd have had somebody who can actually guard him and can score on him any point in time. Like,
yeah.
if you guys would have had a score at the end of like those older players like run to carry them a little bit.
For real.
Yeah, I think you guys had a nice little dynasty there instead of just going to 2 and then that's it.
We have a history of just not taking the obvious pick. Like even 2 years ago, Donovan Mitchell, we all were like, sweet, we're going to take Donovan Mitchell. He's a total Detroit guy.
Yeah.
He played defense. He could be a star. And then we took Kennard. And it's like, a white kid from Duke? What are we doing? Like,
That was awful.
That's going to play out great.
like, but it's not like that was a hard pick. Like all my friends sitting watching the draft, it was like, oh, this is an easy pick. And we just didn't do it. And then, of course, Donovan Mitchell's probably more than what we even thought he would be.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just
The only reason to pick Kennard is if you have a good team. Like he'd be good on the Lakers now.
yeah,
Right, yeah, to fill in for sure.
great 3-point shooter.
Just to hit
He
three
could be our
points.
Kyle Korver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for Detroit to have to come out of the 03 draft and to have taken Darko Milicic is as a Detroit fan, that's gotta hurt because you had Chris Bosh, D-Wade, LeBron, like you have all these players, Carmelo, like in arguably the greatest draft class of all time,
Yeah.
and you come out with Darko Milicic.
You don't gotta remind us, man. Come on.
They paid him a lot too. He messed up the salary cap.
Hey, but Darko does have a ring over Carmelo.
Ouch.
Yeah, with us, the first year. Yeah,
The
that's
first
right.
season.
Never played. We called him the human victory cigar. And like do the most ugly hook shot with like no grace, no touch. You'd be like, you were like, this guy can't even like. Who saw this guy and was like, he's got skill?
Wasn't it Joe Dumars? Wasn't that what?
Yeah.
Joe Dumars.
Dumars.
I'm so sick of the size thing as a thing. Like it's just not like get someone who can play basketball.
It pans out very rarely, especially nowadays. Like,
Yeah. If you don't have the hands, then you're probably not going to go far with size.
Although I will say, I remember you guys talking about like small players in the playoffs having trouble scoring,
yeah.
and then I was thinking about Damian Lillard. Totally disproved that theory. He could shoot from anywhere on the court. He's just like he's just crazy.
But I mean, he's an exception. He shoots from the logo.
Yeah.
Like most other players, they're shooting around the 3-point line or in the paint. You know, like he's shooting, pulling one step across half court. It's like, well, how do you stop that? Like
There's 3 players in the league that do that.
Like there's no stopping that. But I mean, look at Kemba. He's struggling because they're throwing so much size at him all the time, and then he's got to play defense on these guys who are twice his size. And like, man, that wears on you over a series for sure. Like you're gonna struggle offensively just off that.
Yeah.
Wings are like the 6'7" wing.
You need a good one to win.
Yeah, no doubt. Jimmy Butler's right in that category. You know, that's why
he's on like kind of the shorter side of that category.
Yeah.
I think he's like, at least he's not considered. He's not like he's not a tiny guard. You know.
No. He's not soft. That's the big problem. He's not soft. A lot of them are soft, and he's not afraid to like go at somebody.
Right.
I think the Pistons should get Jeremy Grant from Denver. That's what we need, like a wing. We've never had a wing.
I wouldn't.
I mean, he's a solid pick. Jeremy Grant really impressed me.
He got paid. He got paid off the series for sure.
His price went up.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm not sure. I would definitely want to like try to max him out, but
he's good.
I mean, as soon as we went into the locker room, I would have been like, "Hey, so next year, Jeremy, come to the office real quick."
Hey, you saw the GM after the game. He was having a nice long talk with them.
Yeah.
Already, like, hey man, like come get this ring next year. Like, I don't gotta go against you. Don't have to guard you. You don't have to guard me. Knock down threes. Like, hey, he's ahead of everybody already.
He was their third, which was crazy. Like, it was Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Grant.
Yeah, he kind of stepped above Gary Harris and Monte Morris and all those guys.
Yeah, he like I say, he definitely got paid after the series. So somebody's gonna have to pay him.
Yeah.
I don't know if Denver can pay him and everybody else, but they should try to run it back.
All their own kind of draft picks or G League or cheap trades, nothing big. So,
I mean, what's going on with Blake Griffin? That's a real big question. Like,
he's got a TV show coming out. I know that.
A reality show?
He's got but it's like a comedy.
He's officially retired?
No, I just know that he's been spending a lot of time doing like comedy stuff.
Interesting.
I'd be forgetting about Blake. I'm like, yeah, he's on Detroit.
Last time
his first year in Detroit, he actually had a really, really good year. Like he played a different style of basketball. He wasn't like Blake above the rim. It was like shooting threes and being a playmaker, passing. Like if he could just be healthy for a whole year, I think he's actually a player that's to change his game enough to be good at a later stage. He's just not he's not like a max guy anymore.
He's definitely changed his game because he couldn't shoot at all when he came.
No. Now he's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I was shocked when he started shooting mid-range.
I was shocked when he started shooting threes.
Well, yeah, but like
knocking him down consistently.
He is. I think if he has a healthy start, maybe we'll trade him at the deadline. Just because someone could use him. It's just we really.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I feel like they got him to kind of build around him. Like I wouldn't try to build around Blake at this point in his career.
He could be like a Corliss Williamson for a team next year, like what he was on the Pistons, like a sixth man who just could like actually get points in the paint in the playoffs. Like, I think he could do that. He's like big enough, he's strong enough, and he can hit three.
He never defined himself as a player. Like he doesn't have a role like that he could stick to. Like that's the problem with some of these players. Like that's what Dwight's failing was. Like he never could like stick to the game plan. Like if Blake decided, because these things we're saying about the threes, if he's not the guy we want to shoot threes, then if we put in the game and he starts shooting threes, then the guy that we got in the game shooting to shoot the threes is again his touches, and like it just leads to turnover. He's just not doing his job. And I think that it just looks like he doesn't care. Like, I think he just wants to keep playing basketball to keep his basketball superstar.
You talking about Blake still?
Yeah.
I agree. I mean,
he's not on a winning team, man. So it's like I think he's just like if he was on a team that was competitive, you know, he'd just get more into it, you know. But he might ride it out in Detroit. You might be right. He'll just ride it out. I can be the guy here, you know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting like $40 million a year for the next couple of years.
Yep.
Oh, see? I'm gonna just sit on the bench.
Yeah. I think him, Russ, and Chris Paul are like the 3 highest paid players, right? Currently, for the
Something
next
like
couple
that.
of years.
Well, Russ, I understand because he was MVP and he averaged a double 3 years, which is fucking insane.
I think Dame Lillard, because of he renegotiated his contract after he got how many seasons was he with them? There's some kind of max contract he got because he had never left and he was drafted by them.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know Chris Paul on like a per year, he's definitely top 3, thanks to Houston.
Yeah.
But Chris Paul proved himself.
Oh, Chris Paul's great.
That was awesome.
I love seeing it. Like, everybody tried to write him off like he's washed. Like, no, it's just Houston's system. Like, if you're not James Harden or you're not just a knockdown 3-point shooter, like, you're not going to look great all the time in that system. It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which the rest looked exactly how I thought he was going to look when he got there. Even though he played really good in the regular season, what he looked like in the playoffs was like how I thought it was going to work. For like he doesn't shoot threes. Like,
yeah.
There's no big guy. Like, you're going to be just going to the rim every time. That's not going to work. Like, especially not in playoffs. Like,
for real. Did you see how many times LeBron?
Oh, he was bullying him at one point. It was ridiculous. Like, every time he drove the rim, LeBron would just leave his guy and just go straight to block his shit. Like,
Westbrook's driving.
Gotta change his game. I just don't know if it'll ever happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that Chris Paul actually looks the best out of that group.
Yeah.
For real.
I mean, it's not that weird because Chris Paul is a point god. Like, in terms of point guard,
better than
he's the guy.
Yeah.
He's just hard to play with.
He's demanding, which is great when you have young guys because you can't really talk back to him.
Put Chris Paul on like Boston and they win the championship.
They're talking about Chris Paul to Milwaukee. They were talking about trading.
Oh my God.
That'd be a good fit, man.
That'd be sick.
It definitely an upgrade from Bledsoe because that was a horrible decision to pay him. Like, that was ridiculous.
Oh my God, yeah. Especially when, the dude they let go to Indiana was like so much better, and they had
Brogdon.
the choice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brogdon's so much better.
Younger, he's got upside, and yeah,
bigger.
Bledsoe's only like 5'10".
Yeah.
You guys think
Bledsoe?
That's his length, as everyone talks about. But yeah,
can't shoot. Can't shoot. Can barely finish. Like, man, that was terrible. I've never understood why people are so hyped on him because he's only had like a good 20 games in his entire NBA career.
Right.
A 20-game stretch where it was like, oh, he looks really good when he's at Phoenix when they were losing every single game. But it's like, come on. The fact that they really maxed him out was ridiculous, insane.
I think next year the Suns are going to be really, really good because I think Booker is like actually going to be in his prime and he looks awesome.
I think on this run they would have lost Devin Booker, but I think because they went on this run, he might stay.
I mean, if it's a good offer, he should leave.
Do you think the Nets are going to be good?
Just because of KD, yeah, you're always going to be good.
Yeah, because KD said word on the street is KD's been playing and he feels like he's himself.
Oh, that's cool.
He's playing right now, 100% back. Just so It sounds like it's. I don't know about Kyrie, but I know that
Kyrie's the X factor. Which Kyrie are you gonna get?
To be honest with you. And I hate the DeAndre Jordan sign. It just the whole thing seems silly to me. But
You
is
didn't hear
Kyrie
what,
still good? Like,
you hear what Vince Carter said? Vince Carter said DeAndre Jordan can be their third the third star on that team. I was like, wait, what? DeAndre.
Yeah, he's better than him. The pro, what's his name?
Yeah, the pro's way better. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's better than DeAndre Jordan. Why are you even signing him? It's just like a friend signing.
I'm like, dude, nobody's thought DeAndre Jordan is. Only time DeAndre Jordan was ever considered good was when he had Chris Paul who would throw him a lob every other play.
yeah, DeAndre Jordan is our era's Ben Wallace.
Without the defense, though.
Don't disrespect Ben Wallace like that. Are you kidding me? Ben Wallace locked up Shaq, bro. Like that's a different. Ben Wallace is 5 locking up Shaq. Like,
Oh my God! He
You know,
also
he's
had
on
probably
the
the most
6'5",
recorded free balls at the free throw line.
I feel like we were used to that in Detroit because Rodman, when he was in Detroit, was like very similar. Like would airball free throws all the time.
Yeah.
like that. Rick Mahorn, all of them, like
For real.
losers. Like,
That's what Dwight is reminding me of. Like he's like, if I were playing against him, I would hate it because he's like he's looking like just like he's trying to go out of his way to like intimidate people in a way that's almost like cheesy, but like it like, seems to be working. Yeah,
it definitely worked. Look at
right next to their huddle when the team was huddled up, and he's just like, "Oh, hey, what's up?
yeah.
I'm just on the court. I don't." Hey. Like,
I feel like every championship team needs like one of those guys. Like you had Draymond, you had Dwight, you have one of those guys.
That's his role, man. He's totally picked a good role.
He fully bought in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
LeBron.
I think that he got Jokic really out of his game in the last few games. The last like 2.5. Like I think Dwight really messed his game up. Like Jokic, I feel like was ineffective after that.
Yeah.
Jokic is still the best.
Do you think that?
Porzingis.
So,
If I called him a center,
Just throwing it out there.
I would pick Porzingis before I'd pick Jokic. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah,
Not a chance.
I'm sorry.
Not a chance.
I would.
Unicorns, but
Porzingis is giving you triple doubles, or what? Like, what are you talking about? Did you not just see Jokic against the Clippers? Like, are you kidding me?
Did Porzingis had a triple double in the
When?
before he stopped playing?
See, stop lying because you can't even. If I asked you, tell me when he did it. You couldn't tell me. Tell me.
I mean, he sat out the end of the series.
Jokic had a 30-point triple double against the Clippers, bro. Like,
I know.
playoffs.
he shoots the ball so oddly, and it just like goes straight up and never hits the rim.
Straight through the net, like nothing. You
It's
His
cool.
shot's nice.
He's a better passer, way better passer
Better passer.
by far,
Yeah, he's probably the best passing center in the league for sure.
for sure.
Doncic surprised me. I didn't think he was going to be dominant.
He did not surprise me. After playing in Europe for a while now,
That's
like,
what he's supposed
I knew
to
he was
do.
coming. Like everybody who's played in Europe knew he was coming. Like this kid is special.
Yeah, that's what LaMelo's going to look like in 2 years. He's just going to dominate, and people are going to be like, oh, shit, he's the best ball brother. And everyone's going to be like, yeah, we always knew he was going to be the best one. Like,
I mean, it's not really saying that much to be the best ball brother.
exactly. But that's why it's going to be funny when they're going to start saying it's going to be a headline.
It's like, are we comparing him? There's only one brother you can compare him to, and that's long. Like, that's, and he's not really looking too hot right now. Like he was out there airballing layups and shit. Like I was like, man.
I mean, shit. So is Paul George. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he was airballing jump shots, not layups.
I mean, oh my God, there have been some terrible layups. That Celtics Miami first half or whatever, it seemed like one of those games. I forget what it was, but they were like on back and forth for like 5 minutes, not scoring, and they were just smoking laps.
I think both of those teams can exhaust each other on defense, where it could be like an 80 to 85 game, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And also, dudes don't shoot layups anymore. Like, there's people who literally can't do anything but shoot a three. So, like, the game is changed for a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of players in the NBA nowadays that if you watch them play, you'd be like, how are you in the NBA? Like, because they're specialists. Like, they literally just do one thing really well, and that's it. They don't get asked to do anything else.
When's the season start in Europe?
We just started, actually.
So like coronavirus is not as much of a problem there?
Well, it's not the U.S., so Europe handled it like much better. Yes. Yeah.
So but are fans going to be able to come to the games and stuff?
They have it's still like to like 25 to 50% capacity, but I think they're about to be full capacity probably pretty soon. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
They were basically out of lockdown all summer since June. While we were, doing what we were doing. They were definitely well back before we were. Like, well, we still aren't. The U.S. still isn't. But
that's cool. Well, congratulations on being able to live life fearlessly.
So the vaccine is coming out. Are you guys first in line on this one, or what's going on?
Never. Nope. Not until I know that like doctors have tested it, and
well, they have to test it before they release it at all, right?
not if you like take over control of the CDC and the FDA, which
They
just
did
happened.
say this was the lowest, what they lowered like the qualifying bar to like get released to the public or whatever. Like, this is the lowest it's like ever been for a vaccine, so they can get it out faster, basically.
Yeah.
Well,
They got terrifying news in one of the trials, and it basically made everyone who was trying to do the same method of extracting the virus have to double back because of the one result in this other lab. And so it like ripple effects. But no, it really hasn't hit the public like that. But basically, a patient got a disease that's like, or like 3 in a million chance to get. And like, only like a third of people like fully recover from it, and a third of people die, and a third just like have this ailment forever. And they don't know if it was a result of it or what. So basically, because a person from the trial who was healthy before it had this, it basically made all of the coronavirus vaccines that were using this particular method have to like restart.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like I said, I won't be first.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna jump in because I don't know what else I might get because I got this vaccine.
I feel like they're going to give it to people like working on the front lines if it's legit first anyways, right? I mean,
it's going to go to like,
reality is, I can totally see the Trump administration pushing to get something out for just good news,
Yeah.
before the election, right before, like the week before the election, to try.
Right.
Hey, we got a vaccine now. And there's no way, like, who knows how many tests that thing didn't have to pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They actually found out that
we did it
the
right
CDC has done a bunch of like studies and recommendations and written reports that Donald Trump's administration will then take and reword and put it out on CDC letterhead, but like it wasn't written by scientists. And they've now done the same thing at the FDA. So like, basically, like it's like they're trying. Like he wants to win. He wants to win more than he wants to protect him. So if it makes him look good and might get him reelected, then he's gonna do whatever it takes.
That's crazy.
He's like the Bill Belichick of elections.
I think that's our second Bill Belichick reference today. Got something against my man Bill? Come on, man. So I can't.
I'm just saying he'll cheat if he has to.
He's a winner. That's Donald Trump, those winners. So
Yeah, but he'll cheat. I mean, he'll cheat.
He's really bad. He's actually bankrupted so many things. Oh man, he's got the illusion of a winner. So we got to find someone that's got the illusion of a winner, but has actually like lost so many times.
I mean, does he though? I mean, well, I would say to the general.
He's the Paul George of presidents.
The general.
No.
That's a good reference right there.
Oh my god.
Paul.
Kanye. No, I'm just
Oh man, don't get me started again, man. I hate that guy so much. I can't believe it.
yeah. Nah, he's yeah. Sorry.
It's been
He
hard.
definitely infuriates me.
Just love his music so much. It's just been hard, you know.
I know. He's just
Yeah.
such a dickhead. He's such a dickhead.
He
I
just
keep
won't stop.
every time something comes on, I have to decide whether to change it or not. I'm like, oh, I used to love that song. Can I listen to it?
I
I don't know. Sometimes I let it rock though. I'll be honest. Like,
it's hard not to, for sure.
but then,
I mean, that's-
then his voice will make you think of something he did recently, and then that's when you turn it off. Like,
Yeah, that was the problem that I had going to see his concert though. It's like he could do like a 45-minute just medley of like the best 60 seconds of every song he's made, and it would be like the best concert of all time. And instead he just like stops and talks a bunch of shit for 45 minutes and sounds crazy. It's like, just like play something, please.
right? Yeah.
He just
That would
loves
be
having the
cool.
audience, you know.
Yeah, he does. Kind of like Trump.
Twitter might be one of the worst things that have ever been invented, quite honestly.
I deleted it. I deleted it from my phone like a week ago, and my girlfriend commented like, "Oh, you've been a lot more cheerful this week."
Cheerful.
There's definitely the Twitter and the Facebook effects for sure.
I deleted Facebook 7 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have.
It's only gotten worse.
I know, that's what I hear. Yeah,
Well, around this time, it's like just a bunch of grandmothers passing, like totally, like just propaganda lies, like all about the election. It's just like
Mhm.
I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
You're not.
Yeah, it's really weird because every time, what's crazy is like information suppression on social media is like at an all-time high. It's so disgustingly crazy. Like just simple things about like voting and like how to register and stuff is getting like flagged as like possibly inappropriate. And it's like telling people like their rights and like how to vote. And so I don't know what's happening, but
It's crazy.
yeah.
Well, to be honest, the only time I check Twitter is to see Skip Bayless' reaction after LeBron wins a game.
Oh my God, Skip is.
It's always worth a read.
I do that, but then I check Nick Wright just so I could get the full-fledged like LeBron lover effects. So it's both. I keep it equal. Like
Now I go him, and then I go to Shannon Sharp's Instagram because it's like the best.
Because he's gonna be flexing in the mirror with his LeBron jersey on.
Or he'll be posting some meme about the Clippers for the 5th day in a row. Like, it's hilarious.
I'm always surprised that people care about Skip Bayless, like that anyone cares about him, you know? Because like
He's the biggest basketball troll.
I know, but he also like has never played basketball, so it's like why? Like I don't know.
He did average 2 points in high school, so
Yeah.
on JV.
Yeah.
So there's that.
2.2, I think. Like,
I mean, people only ever cared because he was like the most openly hateful person about like LeBron at a time when like LeBron was the best player in the world. So
yeah.
people like wait, this guy said what? You know, and then just had to keep tuning in. And now I only watch because Shannon Sharp, but Shannon Sharp.
Well, when he was him and Stephen A, it was like him and Stephen A. So it was like the dynamic at first. It was really like that was the best sports show to get two guys yelling at each other about sports, and then now it's sort of. I mean, I still check for Stephen A. on that with Max. That's kind of funny sometimes when he be getting mad at Max Kellerman. But nah,
Well,
Skip.
At least Max will say
for effect. He just says for effect.
Max will at least say he's wrong. Skip will never admit he's wrong. Like, even if you pull up videotape of him literally saying the thing that he said he didn't say.
Yeah. He'll be like, even though you think that I meant by saying that they were going to lose, that I meant that them losing means I wanted them to lose. But what I really was saying, like, Skip will, like, twist his words and be like, so I was really right when I said that.
You know how LeBron just had, like, 15 straight points for the Lakers to end the game?
Yeah.
His tweet was something like, the real dagger of the game was Danny Green's shot when they were up by 4 with like 5 minutes to go. That was the real dagger of the game.
Yeah.
Like, well, LeBron just went on scored 15 straight points like the next 5 minutes to end the game. And like the real dagger was the one Danny Green shot he made all game with 4 minutes to go in the game. It's like ridiculous.
Wasn't that an assist from LeBron anyway?
It was, yes.
Like, what are we talking about? like,
it's just hilarious. It's just like, dude, like he's got to keep his money. That's how he makes his money. Like, literally.
That's trolling, man. It is. He knows. I think he literally would like the word cap in hip hop. Like, oh, he's capping. He caps a lot. He's a troll. He does things for dramatic effect, knowing that he's lying and he doesn't believe it. Just because he knows it'll make people react to it.
And it works every time. Can't help it.
Every time. Because he'll say some ridiculous, like there's no way you could believe it as a serious fan of the sport kind of stuff. And he'll say it with a straight face.
I don't get it either, but I get that it's entertaining, but I don't know. I like when guys get on there and they just talk about, like, stats,
Mm-hmm.
Like, more nerdy. That's my vibe, I guess. But
yeah, that's old school Sports Center. Those days are gone.
I mean, what's his face? Marcellus Wiley and Acho. Their show's pretty good.
I honestly don't watch ESPN anymore like I used to.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't watch it either.
I remember high school, I'd literally come home every day and watch it for like 2 hours straight. And every day. And now I literally don't even turn it on ever.
Yeah. Just for the NBA. Just for the playoffs. That's the only thing I'm watching.
I stream mine. So not even then.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh yeah, Daniel. I wanted to ask you about the location in the vertical video.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about because I thought that was cool, like way to tie in like the sports because it was like a stadium sort of.
Well, that's where the Pistons played in the Bad Boys era, and the 2004 champions. They were all at the Palace. That's what it's called. And yeah, basically, it's been like a year. It's been kind of stripped down, and I saw it driving by, seeing like the skeleton of it, and I thought, man, it'd be cool to like film in there. And then we just kind of talked, me, Josh, and our manager, and we were just trying to think of ideas. And then so the thought was I would go in there and film. So I went like 2 days before it was, so I went and filmed myself in front of it, like the skeleton of it, kind of snuck in and like set up a keyboard and just kind of goofed around. Then I went through the rubble and just kind of, I don't know, just got some shots, but then found out a couple days later it was actually going to blow up and that it was like, it would be gone entirely. And I wouldn't be able to keep going back there to get more shots.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got to get some more shots. And we thought, wouldn't it be sweet if we just somehow were filming while it was exploding. So I showed up the morning that it was scheduled. It was like 8 a.m. It was scheduled to blow up or something like that. It was pretty early. And we just set up right in front of it, man, on the highway. A bunch of other people were there just watching it. But I had my back to it, and I was just playing music as my buddy was filming it, and it was so loud. Uh, it was crazy. It was weird to be that close to an explosion, knowing that okay, I'm probably safe, but like I'm not even looking at it.
You can't see debris coming your way or anything. Like,
and all of a sudden, like all this stuff's coming over, and like you're seeing bits and pieces fall down, and you're still trying to go. It was crazy, man. But yeah, just it was one of those things where I loved that the stadium moved to Detroit. It just makes way more sense. But that doesn't mean that there's so many good memories there. Josh was a ball boy, right?
No, I would have been.
So
one shining moment.
But we went to tons of games there, saw the championship games. It was actually ahead of its time stadium too. So it was just kind of like an ode to that. And yeah, it seemed to make sense with the song that was talking about having no vertical. Yeah. So yeah.
No, I like that. I like the editing too. Like there were little like quirks that kind of go with your guys' aesthetic a little bit. Just like
Dan did all that. He did everything. I literally had like nothing to do with this video.
Nice. Cause yeah, even like catching certain cuts on the lyrics was nice. You know.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Definitely.
I'm like an amateur dipping my feet into this, and I really enjoy making it. So I'm hoping I can keep doing it. But it's a lot of fun. I did it, like ran it through like VHS stuff to make it look kind of 90s, you know, early 80s. So I have a lot of fun doing that.
Awesome. Well, talked a lot of basketball. I'm sure you guys have a lot of music. You know, you guys are still working on and planning the future. But right now, it's all about that Swish EP, which is out, along with a very cool bundle and probably the coolest vinyl I've ever seen, honestly. So people can definitely go out and get that right now. Everything's released. Watch the video, buy the bundle. You know, give them some likes, some follows, and you know, we always love having you guys on. It's always a good talking. Great to have Daniel on this time too.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us again. Crazy.
Yeah, you know, when you guys, you know, get your next project together, you know, want to do something, we'd love to, you know, kick back and chat about it and, you know, play it for everybody and, you know, just catch up if you guys would love to join us, you know.
Thanks. Maybe we got to go to Italy so that we can like start working. Actually, it's so funny because I have a friend who is dating another musician who like is a kid of one of the Beatles, and I was texting her the other day, and I was like, "Where are you guys at?" She's like, "Oh, we're in Italy." And I was thinking like, "Oh, I wonder why." I guess it's because it's like normal there. If you have enough money, you just go where it's normal.
Leave the country.
Yeah, Italy was on a crazy lockdown. Like they had one of the most strict ones. So I believe it.
Right? At first they were really bad, and then they went all in.
Yeah, they got hit the hardest probably in Europe for sure. And also it's compounded because, you know, they have an older generation that they all live together and like live on, you know, basically on top of each other. So it's like it was just compounded, and then like their hospitals started getting a little overrun and all that. So they shut down fully for like 2.5 months, almost 3 months, like straight. Like not our lockdown where it's like, oh, you can't go to the gym or you can't go to the club. Like, no, like you can't leave your house unless you're like going to groceries or like walking your dog or something like that.
Permission. One person must have written permission to leave the house and do the shopping. Like for 2.5 months straight. So people literally weren't allowed to leave their homes for 2 months.
So,
do they pay everyone like some sort of basic income during that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I won't say they pay them basic income, but they like obviously they help their people. Like all the countries here really help their people more than just like a, you know, one-time $1,200 check. Like they actually like took care of, you know, people. Like, hey, they said, hey, for the good of the country, we need you to stay inside, but we know to stay inside, you need help. So they did, it's not like, it's a little different culturally. So yeah, they took care of the people here. And then it was an incredibly hard time in Europe for like those 2-3 months. But because they did that, like they were able to open back up almost fully basically in the summer. Like everybody's kind of just chilling,
Yeah, it's like Canada did that. They gave everyone in the country like $2,000 a month for like 2.5 months. And then they like stopped the spread. So like they'd gotten it to the point where there's like 2 cases in Alberta, which is like, it'd be like 2 cases in the Midwest of the United States.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, all right, now you can't come into the country unless you're working. And if you're coming into work, you have to quarantine for 14 days. They'll pay for you to be in a hotel room for 14 days. And like they have someone who's assigned to like get you whatever you need and like make sure you're not leaving. Yeah. But they've like eliminated it now. So now everything's totally back to normal except for concerts. They're still not having concerts. So like all the restaurants are open.
I mean, there's 2 ways to go about it. You can either bitch and moan about everything and like fight it all the way and drag it out even longer, or you can do it in one very tough period and then kind of start to actually get back to normal sooner. Like, so.
I think Trump tried to be the cool dad, like the dad who's got his kids 1 weekend a month. And so he's like, you can't have sugar at your mom's house, but like you can have sugar here, like you don't have to wear your mask around me. And then the governors are like the mom, he's just like, it's the governor's fault. You have to wear a mask. It's the governor's fault. Like, I think it's like that same psychology, and it's so,
well, he doesn't want the blame.
So dumb. Right. Exactly. But he also wants everyone to think he's like the cool guy. Like, yeah,
he doesn't.
Hey, don't wear your mask. It's fine.
Yeah. He says that the U.S. did extremely well. Well, I think there's only 2 countries that had more deaths than we did COVID related, and neither one of those are first world countries. So I don't know. People can do their own, make their own opinion about that. It's not like we have the biggest population in the world either. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like we did a lot better job and been back to normal before now. It's like, man,
I'm glad you're reaping the benefits of sanity.
Oh, yeah. Cool. It's nice being outside and just enjoying things and not worrying too much about what's going on. It's definitely it's a good reset from the 4 months that were just still insane in the U.S., but yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, I think that's about it. Like I said, everybody go check out Swish EP for sure. We'll have links to everything in the description of this podcast when it goes up. Thank you guys again for joining us. It's always good chat. And let's get the king that 4th ring, this year.
Coming soon.
And hopefully the Pistons can figure it out at some point in the future.
2027.
Hopefully your kids have a better Pistons memory than you guys for sure.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Take it.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Keep living life fearless.